Alrighty, folks, we are all set here on the WD Broadcasting Network with our last chance qualifiers for tonight's Winter Challenge Series opener. I apologize about getting on here late. We had a big update for the timing and scoring app for whatever reason that came out about 2 hours before the league race was ready to go. So we got that taken care of, but we are ready to go racing here in the 2026 season of the Winter Challenge Series. Trying to get everything up on screen. Right now, these drivers are doing the last chance qualifier. Carter Stark currently leads. Deegan Smith runs in the second spot. Max Hanley third. Caleb Adrian fourth. Scotty Gardner fifth. The top 5 are going to be the ones that transfer here tonight. Top 5 are going to tonight's main event. Ooh, contact there. A couple cars got together. Scotty Gardner in the 109 gets by Caleb Adrian, Michael Ostick as well. Going to sneak to the bottom. Carter Stark continues to show the way. We've got 10 laps to go. 10 to go here. Rick Thompson Jr. in the 70 machine. Little ways behind your front 4. We are all ready to go. Ooh, sideways. Your top 2 down the back straightaway. Carter Stark, Deegan Smith. Smith has the advantage out of the corner. And he will take the top spot with 7 laps to go. Once again, folks, I apologize about the delay there on the start, but we should be all ready to go. Missed qualifying. We'll go over the qualifying results here. And right now we are underway in the first heat race here tonight. Your top 3 nose to tail. Scotty Gardner, the final transfer spot right now, sitting in the 4th spot, but he's got Michael Ostick right on his tail. Wow, all kinds of sideways was Max Hanley that time. You can tell the track is getting pretty hot and slick. Right now, the front 3 separated by about 2 car lengths each. We got a battle for the transfer spot heating up, though, in these final 4 laps. And Michael Ostick get around Scotty Gardner. 3 to go as they get across the stripe that time. Deegan Smith has a half-second advantage into turn number 3 that time. And the caution flag flies. Matthew Magdans, I believe, in the 019. Not sure what happened to him there. Let's try and get a look. Watch the 19 right there. Looks like he got a little bit sideways out of 4. Reset the car, though, before anybody else was able to get a good look at it. And that going to bring out the caution flag. For the green flag, or sorry, the yellow flag coming out here. First time in heat race number 1 / last chance qualifier number 1. And while we are under yellow here, let's look at our qualifying results for tonight's Johnson Racing Shocks 175. We'll get the results up on screen for you guys. Anthony Adanta on the pole in the number 51 machine. Ty Fredrickson second. Carter Hollingsworth third. Garrett Krause sitting fourth. Last season's champion Tristan Swanson in the 9th spot. A lot of cars on hand here tonight. Your top 30 there. We can go even further on back. Over 40 cars on the property tonight. Your top 20 transferred in on time. We had a couple drivers that did not take a time, but look at that field. 48 cars for race number 1 of the Winter Challenge Series. It's going to be a fun season, especially if we've got a car count like that week in and week out. These last chance races are going to be action-packed. We hopefully see the one-to-go signal here. I believe we will. The iRacing.com pace car turns the lights off. Field doubles up back behind it. And it's all time to go. They'll have a green-white checkered finish. I think they're given 3 attempts at it here in the heat race, but I'm not quite sure if that number is the same for the heat and the feature. Down into turns 3 and 4. Pace car drops to the bottom side. Deegan Smith going to go nice and early through turns 3 and 4, and the green flag is back out. Back underway here for 2 more laps in the last chance qualifier. Max Hanley, Scotty Gardner side by side down the back straightaway. Carter Stark right in front of them. Those 2 battling for the 3rd spot. The white flag is going to be out this time by. Final time around here in last chance qualifier number 1. Couple cars sideways down the back straightaway. Battle for that final transfer spot. Michael Ostiek going to sneak to the bottom side in that final corner. Deegan Smith going to pick up the victory. Carter Stark second. Max Hanley third. Michael Ostiek rounds out your transferring cars in heat race number 1. Look at the starting grid for heat number 2. Eddie Dabrowski in the 029 going to roll off from the pole. Corey Rogers second. Blake Notstad going to roll off third next to Easton Reidner in the 7 machine. Braden Campbell in the 42 machine going to roll off from the 5th spot next to Clayton Story in the 67 machine, starting from the 6th spot. Jared Sutherland in the 19 going to start 7th, next to Scott Kingswan in the 55, who starts 8th. Nick Fredrickson in the 36 will start 9th, next to David Greenleaf in the 58, who starts 10th. Cole Watson, Dan Janjanin are going to round out row number 6. That is going to be your field here. No, it's not. We got a couple more cars. Ethan Dietrich and Jason Hack going to join the field here for 15 laps in the last chance qualifier. Drivers pulling out onto the track now. Eddie Dabrowski in the 29 right there. You can see him on the pole. Going to see what he can do. Your top 4 going to transfer into the A main. Top 4 is the magic number. Alrighty, folks, all back here on WD Broadcasting Network. I am your host, Winston Deal, ready to get things rolling here for the Johnson Racing Shocks 175. We've got a quick warm-up session underway for these drivers before we get our 175 lap feature underway. Going to be a long race. There's going to be some strategy involved. You can't make it on fuel, and you do have a set of tires in the pits, so going to be an interesting one to see how this plays out. Track position is going to be very important because you know it's tough to pass in these late model stocks at the bigger tracks like Five Flags and Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We're just watching some action from the drone camera. We got all the cameras set up while we were away, so we are all set and ready to go. I got a new PC over the broadcasting off season, so hopefully we can put some better quality shows on for everybody. Still getting some of the bugs and all that. Got about a minute remaining here in the warm-up session. And then we'll look at our starting lineup for Johnson Racing Shocks 175. We've got real-life super late model drivers in here. We have experienced iRacers. We have past champions of the Winter Challenge Series. A lot of competition. You guys saw the qualifying results. 48 drivers took time, and only 24 are going to be in the field here tonight. So I believe they are throwing the checkered flag on the warm-up. It's time to roll for tonight's festivities. Next week in the Winter Challenge Series, make sure you guys check us out at the Indianapolis Raceway Park, one of my favorite tracks here in iRacing, probably the closest track to me here in northeastern Indiana. Then Hickory the week after that, right before Christmas. Or I guess right after Christmas. Everything's a week behind on my schedule now. It is time to roll officially in the Johnson Racing Shocks 175. Let's meet our starting field here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We'll go all the way back to the front here. And on the pole, it's going to be Riley Stenjum in the number 77 machine, who will roll off next to Justin Coleman in the 14 machine. Row number 2 on the inside, it's going to be Preston Bors in the 32. Then Joe Schaefer Jr. in the number 6 machine, going to roll off 4th. Starting 5th, on the inside, the number 129 tonight, Derek Kraus, next to the number 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. Ty Fredrickson in the 17 machine, going to start 7th, next to Anthony Danta in the 51. Row number 5 on the bottom has defending champion Tristan Swanson in the 91, and Danny Mann in the 010 machine here tonight, rounding out the top 10. Back behind, row number 6, Brandon Elvis on the bottom side in the number 20 machine here tonight. Alex Papini in the 39, gonna roll off 12th. Back behind in the 13th spot is going to be Brian Tedeschi in the 29 machine, next to Ryan Honeycutt in the number 12. Kelsey Rogers in the 136 will roll off from the 15th spot here tonight, next to Brett McCoy in the 1, who will start 16th. Brian Conover in the 97, going to roll off 17th. Next to Matt Vade in the 18, or in the 33, who will roll off 18th. Jackson Lewis in the 07 machine, going to start 19th next to Eric White, who rounds out the top 20. Now we get into your last chance qualifier transfers, which will be Deegan Smith in the number 22. Eddie Dabrowski in the 29, Carter Stark in the 92, Corey Rogers in the 35. And then back behind him, Max Hanley, Easton Reidner, Michael Ostiek, Clayton Story, Scotty Gardner. I think we should be all set and ready to go. I don't think all of the drivers will be starting here tonight. That's right. It will only be the top 24. They're going through it, manually disqualifying a couple drivers. Your top 24 going to make the field. Just about ready to send them green. The field getting all of their final preparations made. Race control finishing up everything they need to go over for these drivers. This is the opening night for the Winter Challenge Series. We were delayed a week because of the Snowball Derby getting pushed back on Monday. Get the sponsor logo up there for you guys. Wiley Raceway, series sponsor for the Winter Challenge Series. Not sure what the holdup is here. We are just about ready, though. I can't hear the driver chat anymore. I disabled that so I could not be distracted by everybody. But they may be doing their final drivers meeting. But 24 cars going to go 175 laps. I'm curious to see what the tire strategy is going to be like, because there's not really like a specific number that you have to go at, because you can try and cut it right at halfway. You can run the fuel tank out. Halfway is going to be just shy of lap 100. And I think the fuel tanks will probably go 120 or so laps. So we'll probably see varying tire strategies. These guys do have one set in the pits. The question will be 2 or 4. Just waiting for the field to roll off. Look at the track that we're racing at here tonight, Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. I was actually here a couple weeks ago for the All-American 400. It was a fun weekend. Luckily, we had great weather. Still waiting for a couple drivers, I do believe, to grid up here. Looks like Alex Papini in the 39. We had a lot of time in practice. 2 hours was the practice session here tonight, so these guys did put a lot of laps on the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It's going to change up the line a little bit. I think we're going to see a lot more of the top lane than what we normally would. But I think it's going to make it really difficult to pass, because these guys, when they get side by side, can get to somebody's inside, but you can't necessarily complete the pass. So we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action and a lot of draft here at the fairgrounds in these late model stock cars. We've been on the grid here for about 10 minutes now. Not sure what we are waiting on precisely. I think everybody's on the grid now. It looks like it. Everybody is starting to roll. So I think it's time for tonight's Johnson Racing Shocks 175. Justin Coleman in the 14 machine. Gonna start from the second spot next to Riley Stenjum. Field gonna get the 1 to go signal this time by. We're just about ready to go. Denjum and Coleman, Bors, Schaefer, Rouse and Hollingsworth in row number 2. I am gonna refer to the drivers by the car number that is on the timing and scoring screen that you guys can see. Derek Kraus in the 9 machine. His timing and scoring is going to say 129. So we'll try and respect what you guys can see. Try and make it as simple as possible. And I believe it is time to go here through turns 3 and 4. Pace car pulls to the bottom side. And for the first time this season, the Winter Challenge Series is green. The Johnson Racing Shocks 175 is underway. Down into turns number 1, Justin Coleman gets tagged. And Coleman slides, and a bunch of cars are going to slide in as well. There was nowhere for a couple of those guys to go. But the 14 of Justin Coleman got tagged down into 1, and that did not take very long. Try and take a look at what happened here. We'll get a look at the start one more time from a better angle up here. This is the initial green. Swanson didn't get the best of jumps down into turn number 1. I think the 77 just got a little bit hot through the center, and around went Coleman. You can see everybody else tagging in there. Anthony Danta, Egan Smith, others as well. Try and grab that on board with one of the drivers that kind of came in with nowhere to go. See if we can't grab Anthony Danta's view of that one. He was running in the 8th spot. And watch on the start right here. You see Coleman's out quite a ways. And there's the contact. There's nothing the 51 can do. He tries to check up and go to the top, but then Coleman goes right up into him. You can see more calamity back behind in the mirror. But a quick incident here puts us under yellow for the first time this season. Joe Schaefer Jr. going to inherit the lead after that. I believe Stenjum goes to the rear in the 77. We've got the cars doubled up. And Schaefer's going to roll off next to Derek Kraus, Preston Moores, and Carter Hollingsworth in row number 2. Kristen Swanson up inside the top 5 already. He started 9th in this one. Keep an eye on him in the inside of row number 3. Field works their way down through turns 3 and 4 and into the restart zone. A little bit of a faster pace start this time. And we are back underway here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. You can see your top 20 on the left side of your screen. Battle right now for the 3rd spot. Hollingsworth sideways in the 28 machine. Everybody checking up off the corner that time, but I think they were able to make it through. Papini going to go by. 28 of Hollingsworth stuck up there on the outside lane. Couple cars still side by side. Back behind him, Kelsey Rogers. Underneath, Jackson Lewis. Like Rogers gonna peek back behind him, that yellow and white sheen. Thought about 3 wide down into turn number 1 right there. Alex Papini to the inside of Ty Fredrickson. Gonna take that spot away. Watson up the racetrack. Here comes Carter Hollingsworth to the inside. You can see that when somebody gets kind of moved up out of line, they do not stay up there long. They go backwards in a hurry if you lose that momentum. Going to be one of the key things here all season long. There's Papini in the 39 machine, up to 4th. He started 12th in this one. Already up inside of the top 5 as he gets a little sideways down the back. Meanwhile, back behind, Jackson Lewis to the inside of Tristan Swanson. Lewis going to take that spot away. That was the fastest lap of the race. Preston Moores in the 32. Taking a peek to the inside of Derek Kraus. He's got a little right front damage, but he's not letting that slow him down here. We're 13 laps in when we come back around. Joe Schaefer Jr. still the leader. Preston Moores, Derek Kraus battle side by side for the 2nd spot. Nearly contact there through the center. And look at Ty Fredrickson right back behind him. As soon as these two get side by side, Fredrickson able to get right up alongside nearly. Saw him kind of look to the inside off of 4 that time. "15 laps in. The field comes back around. Everybody single filed out for the most part. Still got a couple cars battling it out up here in the top 5. You see Jackson Lewis trying to move forward still. Brian Tedeschi in the 29. And Kraus still fighting with Preston Moores for that 2nd spot. We've got a caution on the racetrack. Caution flag flies. And contact after the caution. Carter Hollingsworth in the 28. Got swerved down to the inside lane there. Not sure how that happened. But we'll take a look at what put us under yellow. Matt Vade in number 33 goes around up off of 4, and that's going to put us under yellow. And then let's look at what happened to Carter Hollingsworth in the 39. Kind of got into the 39, and man, the 39 of Papini right down to the inside lane. Let's look at that one more time. Looks like contact right there. Papini goes down to the bottom. And then after the fact, wow, aggressive for the first race of the season. Not wasting any time, getting the tempers hot here at the fairgrounds. Hollingsworth back to the 11th spot. Under caution for the second time here tonight. You've got 21 cars on the lead lap. Joe Schlater still your leader. Derek Krause second. Preston Boers third. Ty Fredrickson fourth. Jackson Lewis up inside of the top 5. He started 19th on the grid. He's already up inside of the top 5. 7 Machine wasting no time, trying to get to the front of the field. He knows how important track position tends to be. We do have the choose cone. Everybody's got to choose at the line. So Schaefer going to take the bottom lane. Kraus elects to line up alongside. Sometimes you see drivers line up behind one another. But we're going to line them up traditionally for the most part up front. They almost reach the restart zone, and we are underway here out of turns 3 and 4. Ryan Tedeschi looking to the inside of Preston Boers for the 3rd spot. Through 1 and 2 they go. Here comes Brandon Elvis underneath Jackson Lewis. Elvis, Lewis side by side. Up in front of them. The battle for the 3rd spot heats up. Down the back straightaway. Looks like Lewis going to get by Brandon Elvis. Ty Fredrickson a little bit loose. Out of 4 that time. He'll hang on to it, but that's going to allow Jackson Lewis to get by. And look at that 7 Machine up on the outside lane. He has found something here in that second groove early on that we have not seen from anybody else so far. Fredrickson and Boers still side by side for what is the 4th spot. Everybody up front, nose to tail, very close together, kind of spread out as they go back. Front pack right here, all very close. That's what you see a lot of times in late model stock racing on these bigger tracks. Everybody's very close together, but if your car's driving different, it will not take long for you to fall to the back if you start to fall off the pace. Brandon Elvis takes a peek to the inside of Preston Boers. You've got Ty Fredrickson trying to move forward. Currently sitting in the 4th spot. Your top 5 or so are kind of calming down. We've got a long way to go here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Comes Elvis once again. Here comes Lewis to the inside of Fredrickson. Ooh, contact there, nearly a big one down into turns 1 and 2. You saw the 7 Machine kind of come up the racetrack a little bit. Elvis in the 54. Puts the boot to Ty Fredrickson there. Says, don't fight me for the spot right this second. Gets up to the 5th spot, and there is the caution flag once again. Ryan Conover in the 97 machine, low on the front straightaway. Check out what happened here. Put us under caution for a 3rd time here tonight. Here's a look at it off of turn number 4. Looks like we're just another car off of 4. Seems to be a treacherous spot here tonight. And that will put us under yellow once again. 3rd caution flag here tonight. I don't believe anybody up front has came down to the pits just yet. To get their tires at least. The only one you don't see right there, Preston Boers, fell out of the top 5 just before that caution flag flew. Leave the field this time, going to be next time by rather getting the choose cone. Next time the field will choose. And Kraus hasn't really put up too much of a fight for the lead just yet. Kind of just biding his time. He knows he's got a long way to go, and he's a very experienced racer in the longer events. So maybe saving something for a little bit later on. You're yet to see, but the field going to choose at the line this time. Couple cars electing to jump up to the outside lane. That's going to open up some room on the bottom. The field going to go green this time by. Lights off in the iRacing.com pace car. We'll be all set and ready to go. 34 laps in. And an early jump there from Joe Schaefer Jr., wasting no time getting into the loud pedal. And they're off and racing down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody nearly single file through turn number 1. Brandon Elvis, Preston Boers continue their battle that they were having before that caution. It looks like Elvis going to get in line up in front of Preston Boers and take that spot away. Derek Kraus up front, putting some pressure on your race leader, Joe Schaefer. He's about a car length behind. Both of them running very different lines. You can definitely run different lines here at Nashville Fairgrounds, but different lines work at different points in the race. That's one thing I've definitely learned. The line is ever changing here at the fairgrounds. This time by will be 38 laps in. Still quite a while before we'll have to start worrying about fuel, but strategy's got to be in the back of everybody's mind. Can't make the race on fuel, and you can't do it on tires. A little bit further back, Ty Fredrickson and Justin Coleman battling. I think we're making a little bit of contact. I was getting an alert on the side of my screen that there was incidents happening. Coleman still hanging on after that early trouble. in turn number 1 of this race. As here comes Danny Mann to the inside of Preston Bors. Bors started this race in the 3rd spot, back to 7th out of turn 2 that time. Kristen Swanson looking to the inside. Still battling side by side there. Bors is able to get the run up on the top. Looks like Swanson going to take the position through 1 and 2. Brian Honeycutt right there as well. Wants a piece of the action. As you can see, it definitely takes multiple laps to really set up a pass. Swanson giving us a good view of it right now. Really have to keep the momentum wound up. And that's what Bors is doing on the outside lane right now. Swanson going to have to get back in line, and Preston Bors will hang on for now. Jackson Lewis in the 7 machine, all over the back bumper of Brian Tedeschi for the 3rd spot. We're approaching the lap 50 mark, so getting closer to halfway. We can start thinking about tire strategy. Back behind, Kelsey Rogers to the inside of Ryan Honeycutt. That's Brett McCoy. And Riley Stenjum back behind him. I think Rogers is going to take that spot down into 3. Glide up across the nose there. One thing about late model stock racing here on iRacing is once you pass somebody, you can almost always expect them to come right back to your inside the next corner. You can get a big crossover move, and that is exactly what Ryan Honeycutt did. He's able to hang on to the 9th spot. Up front, Jackson Lewis was able to get by Brian Tedeschi. Look at Lewis on that outside lane. It's a good view from Tedeschi's 29, but you can see the difference right here. Tedeschi went up the track, but when Tedeschi was on the bottom, Lewis just got such a big run down the back straightaway. Let's watch the run off of 4 right here. Look at the 7 machine just motor it down the straightaway, and that's how he is getting so much of his ground that he's made up so far. Up into the top 3 is Jackson Lewis. To the outside of Derek Kraus. Kraus not going to put up a fight. Does not want to put too much heat into his tires at this moment. We are only 53 laps in out of the 175 lap affair. Still 21 cars on the lead lap. We've got a battle heating up for the lead. Jackson Lewis in the 7 machine. On that outside lane, just motoring it off the corner. And now he's taking a peek to the outside of Joe Schaefer. I think Schaefer said, I do not want to be fighting all this. And lets Lewis go up off the corner. New leader, lap 56. Give it to Jackson Lewis. top 5 right back behind him. Look at the lap times from that last lap around to kind of see who is where on speed. Got a couple guys in the 2s. Jackson Lewis still down in the 1s. You can tell that speed is still there in that 7 machine. He drove up to the front, started 19th in this one, all the way back up to the lead. Battle for the 5th spot. Danny Mann and Brandon Elvis. Elvis on the outside. Looks like Mann gonna get the advantage. Elvis didn't quite let him go right there. Keeps his foot in it. Up off the corner. Go way up the racetrack that time. And Danny Mann up inside of the top 5. Into the 10 machine. Come back. Corey Rogers to the inside of Carter Stark. Stark on the outside lane. Rogers down low. This is a good view of hard to really make that pass work because you saw Stark was loose through the center of the corner. He was still able to get the power down and hold Rogers at bay. Stark up into the wall right there. You can tell both of those drivers definitely starting to fight their race cars just a little bit. We are 63 laps in. The caution flag is out. Corey Rogers in the 35 machine. Turn around the wrong way. Off of turn number 4. Look at that one more time. Looked like the 92. They've gotten into the back bumper. Those two were battling. There was contact made. 92 as Stark went up into the wall. See if we can't watch that on board with Carter Stark in the 92. Yeah, and there was just barely contact right there. I don't know if he necessarily meant to do that, but the caution flag is out. We've got a couple cars coming to pit road. Jackson Lewis said it's a go time. Brandon Elvis down pit road as well. Kelsey Rogers coming down. Several drivers making their way down pit road. I thought it to be just a little bit early here, but a couple drivers said it was time. Brandon Elvis, one of them. He's going to be the first out of the pits. Lewis going to lose a couple spots on pit road, spending a little bit more time in his box. Everybody else trying to get out before the pace car. I think Coleman was able to there. Under caution, though, for the 4th time here tonight. That will give the lead back to Joe Schaefer Jr. Race recap so far. Had one lead change. That was Jackson Lewis taking the lead from Joe Schaefer. Had 4 caution flags so far. Your leader, Joe Schaefer Jr., takes the inside lane here on the choose. We're ready to send him green down the back straightaway. A couple cars did come down pit road. I believe their top 10 or so all stayed out on this caution flag. So we'll see what happens here. Joe Schaefer, Derek Kraus through the restart zone. And we're back underway. Through turns 1 and 2. Everybody, ooh, a little sideways right there was Ryan Honeycutt. Honeycutt on the bottom, trying to fight his way up into the top 5. Nearly contact again. He's really fighting that thing up off the corner. Now they're 3 wide into turn number 1. Ty Fredrickson shot to the bottom lane. Wasn't able to make it stick. Ooh, to the bottom right there. Good save. Ty Fredrickson got, I think, tagged in the door off the corner by Tristan Swanson. Luckily, everybody was able to hang on. We've seen a couple big moments here on these restarts. In trouble for our leader, Joe Schaefer. I think he may have had a connection issue. There he is back now. But we'll keep an eye on that as he dropped out for like a whole lap. Fell all the way to the bottom of the scoring pylon. He's back now, so hopefully he doesn't have any further connection issues. And oh, contact to the inside wall. Danny Mann, he was loose up off the corner, sideways up off the corner, I should say. And hard into the inside wall. The yellow flag comes back out here. I think there may have been contact. I'm not sure. You saw the 10 machine shoot to the bottom. Try and go on board. See if we can't maybe see what exactly happened here. Man, just the slightest amount of contact. And around went the number 10 machine. Tough break for Danny Mann. He was having a good run up inside the top 5 or so. That's going to put us under caution once again. Good for some of these drivers that came down on that last pit stop. A little bit less heat in their tires. Or a little bit less wear in their tires, I should say. Schaefer able to hold the lead on that restart. Kraus really hasn't had too much for him here in these beginning stages. Not quite ready to go 1 to green. We'll go 1 more lap. Yeah, Kraus has not put too much pressure on Schaefer early on. We'll see if he's saving or if Schaefer is just the one to beat here tonight. But we'll have to keep an eye on that 7 machine, Jackson Lewis. Man, he drove through the field. Drove to the lead very early. And chose to pit. You can see Schaefer in the lead having a little bit of connection issues. Blinking in and out. If it happens too many times, he will receive a black flag from iRacing. He is gone right now. I think he's going to come back up there. Tough break for the 6 machine. I do think he is going to pull it pit side, and that's going to be a night for the 6 of Joe Schaefer. Tough break Or Joe Schaefer going to give up the lead here, coming to the restart. Brian Tedeschi, Ty Fredrickson, Derek Kraus, all right up inside the top 5. Down the back straightaway. Tedeschi on the bottom lane. Side by side with Kraus there. Kraus going to take the advantage on the outside lane. He'll try to take the lead off of turn number 4, and it looks like he will. New leader. Give it to Derek Kraus. Down the back straightaway. 9 machine right there, clear into turns 3 and 4. Ty Fredrickson still trying to make that outside lane work. As Tedeschi goes back to the bottom. We've got 4 cars under a blanket for those top 4 spots. As defending champ Tristan Swanson throws his name into the mix. Looks like Tedeschi going to take the lead back from Derek Kraus. Fredrickson going to look to the inside of Derek Kraus off of 4. But he will not be able to make that run work. Now Riley Stendham back up inside the top 5. He's looking for 4th on the outside of the 91. Remember, he was involved in that lap 1 incident with Justin Coleman. Trying to get back up to the front. He's on the outside of Fredrickson there. The outside lane's definitely starting to come into play here as we get later into the race. You can see the 36 a little sideways in contact. Around goes Ty Fredrickson and more. Jackson Lewis involved. I think everybody else able to stay out of it. Fredrickson and Lewis make contact further, trying to get him turned back around, but a tough break for that 7 machine. He was trying to charge his way through the field. He saw the 36, kind of sideways out of 4. And there was big one. The 36 sideways, kind of overcorrect up into the 77. And that contact sent Tristan Swanson up across the track. What a save from, I don't know who that was that shot back through there, but what a save. I think it was Eric White. Shot down to the bottom of the racetrack. Watch that one more time. The 6 machine right here. He had almost nowhere to go. You can see the 91. Tag him right there and grab the wall. I think he definitely maybe grabbed some damage as well. So tough break for number 6 machine. We've got pit stops going on. A couple drivers coming down to get damage fixed. Coleman in the 14, Ty Fredrickson. All those drivers coming back out of the pits here. We are just about to the halfway point. Should be getting it this time by. We'll be halfway into tonight's Johnson Racing Shocks 175. We've seen 6 caution flags so far. It is time for the choose cone. A couple drivers electing to take that outside lane, leaving the bottom open. They don't want to be squeezed down on that white line. Brian Tedeschi, Derek Kraus, your front row leading us back to green. We're past halfway in this one, so the fight for the lead is going to become a little bit more intense. Your top two have not come to pit road just yet. And through the restart zone they go, back underway here at the fairgrounds. Good jump for Brian Tedeschi in the 29. Preston Boers in the 32, trying to get back up onto the podium. Riley Stenjum up top. Preston Boers down low, nearly contact, and there was contact. Derek Kraus got kind of shuffled up off the bottom there. And the 32 of Boers is going to take over that second spot. He will try to track down Brian Tedeschi. And back behind, we saw Jackson Lewis up into the outside wall. Don't know if there was more involved, but Lewis going around. Take a look here, see if we can't figure out what happened. The machine. I think the 7 just went around. Not sure. Look at that one more time. Oh, never mind. The 10 machine went up the banking. That was the side we did not see. And yeah, that almost looked intentional. Not sure if I can quite call it. We'll see what the onboard looks like here. We can't see it one more time. Go onboard with the number 10 of Danny Mann right here. Here's what he had seen. Okay. Doesn't look as bad from the onboard, but just a disagreement on real estate. And around goes Jackson Lewis. Tough break, though. He was on a mission before that first incident happened on the front straightaway. Now under yellow for the 7th time here tonight. About 5 laps shy of lap 100. Deshi has not come to pit road yet, and Derek Kraus has not come to pit road yet. Those are the 2 drivers who are holding it out, trying to save their tires as much as they can. Dews cone underway. Everybody's kind of staying in line for the most part, or at least where they're supposed to be, with the exception of Derek Kraus right there. I see he is on the bottom. Running in the 4th spot, but he's going to start in 5th here. We'll send him back green with 80 laps to go. 80 to go for Brian Tedeschi. He's going to go nice and early this time. No restart rule here in the Winter Challenge Series, and he is taking every advantage he can with that. A big jump for the 29. He's going to take the lead down through turns 1 and 2. Like we're going to be single file throughout the top 7 into turn number 3. Brian Tedeschi going to try to open up the gap here. He's got Stenjum back behind him, who does have a fresher set of tires. We'll see if he's able to put those to use. Stenjum that time did just set the fastest lap of the race, so that 77 machine has some speed. What can he do with it? His lap 100 goes up on the board. It'll be 75 to go when they get back around this time. And now we're kind of into a Saturday night feature kind of distance here in the late model stocks. Just about to the 50 lap mark, but laps are going to wind down a lot faster than they had previously. These guys are going to run out of time, put themselves where they want to be. Tedeschi holds the race lead. Everybody single file back behind. Corey Rogers right there, trying to build up some momentum to get to the inside of Brandon Elvis. And how about Justin Coleman? In the 14 machine, was involved in that lap 1 calamity. Got hooked in turn number 2. And he's stayed with it. He's gotten some damage fixed. That 14 machine looks about as good as new, and he's running inside of the top 10 right now, trying to take the 8th spot here from Eddie Dabrowski. Dabrowski using that outside lane, gets the run down the back stretch, but can the 14 of Coleman make the pass work on the bottom? It looks like he will make that pass. Coleman looking to the inside of Rogers now. I think he will take that spot through turns 1 and 2 here. Coleman looks quick in that 14 machine. And keep an eye on him here. Just outside of the top 5. He's got everybody within his grasp out front. Nearly contact that time. Corey Rogers shoots back to the bottom side. Up front, though, Derek Kraus beginning to look to the inside of Riley Stenjum, as Stenjum has a big moment out of turn number 4. You can see that 77 machine up the racetrack and then try to pull it back down. But Derek Kraus in the number 9 has found something here late on that original set of tires. Remember, Stenjum has a set of tires on the car. He came down to get tires. Well, I might stand corrected. I guess his pit lap was 18, so he probably did not put tires on there. So maybe a couple drivers still with tires in the pits. Ryan Tedeschi leads. Derek Kraus up front in the 2nd spot. Look at the lap time difference right there. Looks like that 9 machine is starting to close the gap and get a little bit closer to Brian Tedeschi. Kelsey Rogers all over the back bumper. Preston Boers. That is for the 4th spot on the racetrack. We've got a pretty sizable green flag run here. Things are starting to get spread out. Ooh, Preston Boers all kinds of sideways that time. And you can really tell these drivers are starting to have a handful as the track gets hotter and as these tires get hotter too. Rogers takes that spot away from Preston Boers. Up Derek Kraus about 5 car lengths back from Brian Tedeschi. Their lap times kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Neither of them really faster than the other. One thing that they are going to have to start worrying about as we get closer to the finish of this one, they don't have enough fuel to make it to lap 175. And there is the caution flag that may save them. Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Anthony Danta in the 51. See what happened. Looked like down into turns 3 and 4. Just got a little bit sideways and could not hang on to it. That'll put us under yellow. We'll reset things and allow our top 2 to make their pit stops if they choose. It looks like no, not yet. Tedeschi and Kraus going to stay out here. They're not quite wanting to take those tires just yet. I almost thought it'd be a thing of fuel concerns, but I think they may have a little bit more in the tank than what I initially had thought, so we'll see how this strategy plays out. A lot of drivers coming down pit road this time either get damage. You see Preston Boers putting left sides on that race car. Field going to get the 1 to go signal next time by, where they'll double up. Before we send them back racing, we are 120 laps in this time. Field chooses at the line right there. Brandon Elvis going to line up inside of row number 2. Up inside the top 5. So Tedeschi and Kraus once again going to bring us back to the green. This time with about 55 laps to go. As Tedeschi goes back through the zone, and we're back underway here at Nashville. Good launch from your top 3. They're going to be single file through the first set of corners, and down the back straightaway they go. Tedeschi able to hang on to the lead. Here comes Kraus all over the back bumper. Riley Stenjum as well on the outside lane. Stenjum on the outside, trying to find a way around Kraus. As Tedeschi has a mirror full of both of them. But Kraus is going to be able to hang on down into turn number 1. Top 3 single file right there. Actually, most of the drivers single file all the way back to Preston Boers, who's side by side with Eric White there. Sorry, Matt Bade rather. Kristen Swanson thought about taking a peek to the inside of Justin Coleman here. not quite able to make that pass just yet. You see Swanson trying to get the run up off the corner. Looks inside here. Tries to make room. It looks like he's going to make room. Into turn number 3. Coleman going to hold him tight. And use that outside lane. Swanson definitely looks like he's got something on the bottom here. Swanson down low. Trying to take the spot away from Eddie Dabrowski. Up in front of them, Brandon Elvis to the inside of Riley Stenjum for third. Battles on for the third spot. As Tristan Swanson tries to complete the pass on Eddie Dabrowski back behind. Elvis to the inside once again. I think Stenjum going to let him have it that time. Did not want to continue to put up the fight. Move Brandon Elvis up into the third spot. Tristan Swanson trying to get underneath Riley Stenjum. Stenjum looks like he may have lost some of the speed that we saw in that race car a little bit earlier on. On the outside of Swanson here, I don't think Swanson's going to... Ooh, contact there. And Swanson is going to be able to make that pass work. I was just getting ready to say, don't know if he's going to be able to complete the pass right there, but it looks like move Tristan Swanson up to fourth. Will now set his sights on the 54 of Brandon Elvis. We look back behind him. Matt Vey looking on the inside of Ryan Honeycutt. They've got a bunch of cars right here in this little group. All trying to move forward here in these last, now 50 laps we're inside. Up front, Swanson to the inside of Brandon Elvis. That's for third. He's got Justin Coleman right behind him. Coleman's got something left in that machine as well. We knew it was going to be about saving tires here tonight. That 91 machine definitely looks like he saved a little something. He's going to try to find a way around Derek Kraus. Swanson to the bottom. Kraus up top, going to try the crossover move that time, and look at that. Derek Kraus right back to the bottom. I don't think he's got the turn in that race car, though. He's got to back out of it. Kraus back to P3, move Tristan Swanson up to the second spot. He's looking for more. Through turns 3 and 4, Tedeschi kind of left the bottom open a little bit that time. Now Swanson going to have a big shot to the bottom. He'll slide into turn number 1 and take that spot away. New leader on lap 141. Tristan Swanson takes the top spot. Brian Tedeschi Goes back to the second spot. Eric Kraus third. Brandon Elvis and Justin Coleman right there as well. No, we've got a spinner back behind. I think Ryan Honeycutt looked like he saved that. Wow, what a save from Ryan Honeycutt. Now we've got a spin. That time, Eric White on the exit of turn number 2. Going for the spin cycle. See what happened to that number 6 machine. You can see there's the... Let's go a little bit further back here if we can. When they were all battling. Let's see what happened to that 77 of Riley Stenjum. Down into 3 here. I think the 28 got in there a little bit too hot. Wow, just about. Man, how did he save that? Whew. We'll have to go on board for that one. You can see Eric White just had a little bit of a disagreement on space. Up front, your leaders have come to pit road. Time for their final pit stop here inside of these final 30 laps. And the question now is, which tire strategy is going to be the right one? Because now Tristan Swanson has the track position, but does he have enough tires? That's going to be the question. We will find out in about 30 laps. 145 in at the line, and 30 remain. And the Johnson Racing Shocks 175. Thank you guys for tuning in. Up to this point, we've still got 30 more laps of action, but if you haven't already, hit that red subscribe button for more iRacing content right here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Also, check us out on Facebook. Post a lot of daily videos there. Now, after pit stops, things going to look a little bit different. They come back to the choose. Elvis going to take that outside lane. He'll have his Elvis Coleman Racing teammate, Justin Coleman, starting third back behind him. So the field is doubled up and in the hands of Tristan Swanson. We are ready to go for our final 30 laps. It's going to be a shootout here at the fairgrounds. Who will take the victory through turns 3 and 4 that time? Good start from the 91, and we're back underway. Down ended 1 and 2. Good start from the 91. Here comes the 54 of Brandon Elvis to the outside lane. Elvis wants a shot at the top spot here. A little bit sideways with Swanson that time. Tristan Swanson has a mirror full of Brandon Elvis. Elvis doing everything he can to try and keep his momentum wound up, to have a spot or a shot to the inside lane. It's 26 laps to go that time for the 91 of Swanson. We're going to have to keep an eye on Tedeschi and Kraus. Those are the two drivers. Came down to get tires. Stenjum as well. They all came down to pit road to get their set of tires. So we'll see if they're able to drive back through the field with 25 laps to go. Brandon Elvis in the 54, all over the back bumper of Tristan Swanson. But is there going to be enough time? You see Tedeschi move to the inside of Ryan Honeycutt. He'll take over the 7th spot. Your top three, nose to tail. Coleman almost pushing Brandon Elvis down the front straightaway that time. You can see both of those drivers have a lot of speed left. But can they find what they need to get around that 91? Meanwhile, back behind Tedeschi to the inside of Corey Rogers. Derek Kraus going to think about 3 wide through turn number 4. Forces Tedeschi up the racetrack a little bit. Now here comes Riley Stenjum wanting a piece. Tedeschi on the outside, trying to get around Kelsey Rogers right there. Ooh, and there's contact. Rogers up on the outside wall. And that is going to put us under yellow once again. They kind of made a little bit of contact, and it looked like they may have gotten hooked together. And around goes Kelsey Rogers. Tough break for a 34 machine, 136 on the left side of your screen. 10th caution flag here tonight. We'll look at that one more time. Let's go up to the drone for this one. You can see the 34 on the bottom. I think the 29 just came down, and when they made that contact initially, I think the 29 came off the wall, and when they made that contact, may have gotten hooked together, and there was nothing either of them really could do. Or they were trying to get off of one another, but tough break for Kelsey Rogers. They'll bring that machine pit side, try and get some damage fixed up. Up front, though, Swanson was able to hold the race lead. He had a mirror full of Brandon Elvis and Justin Coleman, but Swanson was able to hold. The laps are definitely running out here. Lap 158 up on the board. We're getting close to 15 laps to go. Swanson, your leader, Elvis second. This time by, the field going to get the one to go signal as well as the choose cone. Let's see where they go. They have been lining up pretty traditionally. See if that story continues. It looks like it will. Not too many surprises. Once again, the field in the hands of Tristan Swanson. They head down the back straightaway. Through restart zone they go. Good jump for the 54 machine. Sorry, for the 91 machine. We're back underway with 15 laps to go here at the fairgrounds. Swanson, your leader, down the back straightaway. Kraus hard up into the inside wall and the outside wall in a huge crash. Down into turn number 3. And Kraus, looked like there was contact maybe off of the corner. Kraus was not happy about that one. Let's look at that one more time. Big time contact there. You can see the 9 machine. The 9 machine and Rogers in the 35 kind of made contact on the backstretch, and I'm not sure entirely what happened between the two of them. On board with Derek Kraus here. He definitely did not come out of the throttle pedal there. I don't know if you heard when the contact happened, but Kraus a little bit frustrated, I believe, with that one. He was making his way back up to the top 5. Unfortunately, going to be out of this one. The field back under yellow. We're going to be sending them green inside of 10 to go. The laps have ran out, I believe, if you're outside of the top 5 at this point. Could be mistaken. Could see somebody drive from the 8th spot or something, but right now Tedeschi has the freshest tires in the field. We get ready to send them back green with 10 laps to go. 10 to go for Tristan Swanson, trying to hold on and pick up the victory in the opening race of the 2026 Winter Challenge Series season. They fire through turns 3 and 4, and we're back underway one more time. 10 to go here at the fairgrounds. Top 3 breakaway. Brian Tedeschi gets by Matt Bade there for the 4th spot, but does he have enough time to get back up to the front? It'll be 8 to go for Tristan Swanson this time. Brandon Elvis has got Justin Coleman back behind him, but is there anything left for either of those two to get up to the 91 machine? That 14 machine last time by actually set the fastest lap of the race. So Justin Coleman still got something left here, and Brandon Elvis is right there as well. They are not letting Tristan Swanson get away with this one just yet. We come back to 6 laps to go. Six to go. Down the back they go. Your top 3 have about a 4-car length advantage over Brian Tedeschi. At this point, his run has kind of stalled out a little bit. And here comes the 54 of Elvis all over the back bumper of Tristan Swanson. But now the question is, when does he make his move? Got 4 laps to go right here. See him kind of shooting up to the outside lane on entry. Right to the left rear. Trying everything he can to get up off the corner. We've got 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go for Tristan Swanson. What can Brandon Elvis do to get by him here? This time by, the popsicle stick's going to be up in the air. 2 laps to go. 2 to go for Tristan Swanson. Swanson, your leader down the back straightaway. He's got to fend off Brandon Elvis for just 3 more sets of corners. This one right here, and then 1 more lap. White flag is out. Final time around out of turns 3 and 4. Brandon Elvis into turns 1 and 2, hard behind him. But is there enough? Down the back straightaway, final time. Kristen Swanson into turns 3 and 4. There's not going to be enough from Brandon Elvis, and at the line, it's going to be Tristan Swanson winning the Johnson Racing Shocks 175 in the opener for the Winter Challenge Series 2026 season. So Swanson, your defending champion, picks up the victory to wrap up night number 1. We're going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers quickly here before we wrap things up. Then we'll send everybody to bed. Swanson burns it down. Try to grab a word from Coleman first. We're trying to get everybody all sorted. I think we've got Justin Coleman and Brandon Elvis in there, so we can grab a word from those 2 drivers. How about Justin Coleman up into the broadcast booth? Justin, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on, WD?
Alrighty, well, that was an eventful one, a long one here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It started off for you pretty chaotic. You got tagged going down into one, looped it, got a little bit of damage. You spent a lot of that race down pit road. I think I saw you probably the first 6 cautions down pit road, getting that thing fixed up, and by the end of it, it looked about showroom ready. And then we were able to drive it up to the 3rd spot, and it looked like it just kind of ran out of time to really do anything else there with Brandon and Tristan right in front of you.
Yeah, this race was chaotic, man. I'm glad I stuck with it, though. I mean, we came down, got the car fixed up. That last time I came down, I put some right sides on it, and she fired off. I just kind of tried to keep the right sides on it because they still had like 80 or 90 laps to go, and got behind Brandon, just kind of coasted and turned it up the last 20, 30 laps, man. She was a hot rod, just had nowhere to go. Kind of tough to pass. Okay, let me mute him. Sorry. Yeah, just tough to pass, man. I get it set up, but just no run to come off the corner, man. This thing has no gear in it. But
yeah. Definitely looked tough to pass, especially off the corner. We saw some treacherous moments off the corner here tonight.
Yeah, she was a little bit free, but free race car is a fast race car. So we had a hot rod, but I'll take 3rd. Hey, the race I had, I'll take 3rd all day long.
Yeah, no kidding. For the perseverance we saw on pit road and even the speed there late, gosh, I think you set the fastest lap of the race. With like 4 something laps to go. It was crazy. That thing, like I said, was ready for the showroom by lap 175. But good run for you here, Justin. At the end of it all, when it was all said and done, P3, who do you have to thank for a good run in opening night?
Appreciate it. Just thank the guys that put this league on. Thank you for broadcasting it. You do an awesome job. I have to say, you're probably the best broadcaster in iRacing, just my opinion. Thank my teammate Brandon, ECR, and all them guys. Run down my sponsors real quick. Barry Elvis Performance and Fabrication, Chestnut Hill the Restaurant, Coastal Performance, Gibbs Brothers Construction, BH Homes Construction, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, Coleman Design, and yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm hit a brain fart, but yeah. Anyway, appreciate it, brother.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Justin. Always fun talking to you up here in the booth, and I'm glad you were able to get things turned around after that interesting lap number 1.
Thank you, Winston. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was Justin Coleman, your third place finisher here tonight. Now we'll grab a word from our second place finisher. See if we can't grab a word from Brandon Elvis up in the broadcast booth. Brandon, got a copy.
Hey, Winston.
Alrighty, well, P2 here tonight. You started 11th on the grid. Had to work for it here tonight. It was definitely a pretty tough field up front, but after chaos unfolded, you hit the pit strategy right. I think you and Tristan may have came down. Well, I guess he came down a little bit later and ended up getting around you, but you hit the pit strategy right enough to stay up at the front there and end up P2. Just didn't look like you had enough to get around him there at the end.
Yeah, I would. The pit strategy, I mean, it played exactly like I wanted to. Just came up one spot short there. When Tristan got to me, whenever he got to me there at the end, I pulled up and let him go. I was hoping he'd go do the dirty work and get past the top two there, and they ended up pitting anyway. So kind of gave him that spot at that moment, and it paid off for him. I just couldn't get back around him. He was a little bit better. I could fire off a little bit better than he could, but the restart zones on this thing being a quarter mile long, got caught sleeping a few times there, and that cost me as well. And hey, Tristan drove a great race. This worked out in his favor tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely still a good run from the 54 machine here tonight. Started 11th, worked your way up to second. Who do you have to thank for P2 opening night?
Yeah, just thanks to these Winter Challenge guys, the sponsor. I think it's Johnson Shock. Shout out to those guys, the league sponsors. Fun series. I kind of expected a little bit of carnage when you have that many fast guys on a racetrack at Nashville, where there's a lot of on throttle time. Really hated to see a Buddy Carter get taken out under caution. That was pretty bush league, I thought. But yeah, I just glad to be here. Thanks to Justin Coleman for this great looking Christmas scheme. Yeah, it's Coastal Performance, Barry Elvis Performance, Chestnut Hill Restaurant. All my friends that are watching, my mom, dad, my wife for letting me do this. It's past my bedtime for sure. So gonna have to get off here, and yeah, that's about it. Thanks for putting this broadcast on.
Yeah, I think it's past my bedtime too, and I think we might have even kicked out some of the ice cream time, so that kind of sucks. But either way, good run for you here, Brandon. Hopefully we can see you again tomorrow night. We've got Leave the Pack Super Series Race 2, so we'll see you there. Good luck to you.
All right, man. Thanks, Winston.
Yes, sir. All right. Now to talk to our winner here tonight, man of the hour, in the Winter Challenge Series, your champion from last year, and starts it off the right way, goes right back to victory lane. Tristan Swanson up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Alrighty. We'll started ninth here tonight. After the invert, we ended up hitting on lap 118. You were kind of on the latter half of the pit strategy, and it ended up working out in your favor. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, it was a good run. It was kind of sketchy, touch and go there for a minute. That early run before we took tires there, I was worried that I didn't take them early enough, but yeah, it worked out in our favor. We got caught up in a wreck too, which kind of messed up the strategy a little bit, but we ended up. Cautions kind of fell in our order and got all the damage fixed by the time we took tires, and we fell back a little bit, so we had to risk it on the 2 tires strategy. But yeah, it ended up playing out in our favor.
Yeah, definitely worked out, like you said. Had a lot of speed there driving up through the field. You were able to get to the lead around Elvis, or get to third around Elvis, and then the front 2 pit right in front of you, and then it kind of just fell in your lap at that point. You just kind of had to hang on and go through the motions, right? It was a good win for the number 91 machine. Played the strategy right, like you said, and it fell into your favor. So a good way to start off the season. You were champion last season, winning week number 1. Gotta give you a little bit of momentum built up going into these next couple weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always look forward to this. Me and Ty Fredrickson and a bunch of other guys, we always look forward to doing this during the winter. So yeah, it was cool to win the championship last year, and yeah, just even better just to just fire out right back off where we left off. So yeah, it's fun,
Definitely a fun series. Looked like a lot of fun out there while you guys were green. Had a lot of competitive people out here tonight. Very competitive strength of field when I joined in. I was a little bit like, wow. lot of good names in here tonight, but you were the winner, Tristan. Who do you have to thank for a victory in week number 1?
Yeah, for sure. Just gotta they do such an awesome job promoting this and getting pretty big names into this series, and yeah, it's just cool to see everyone and just race against them. You know, when we're not able to be at the racetrack IRL, so yeah, it's just hats off to them, and yeah, just gotta thank Race EPI, Elite Performance Industries for just making the thing as fast as it was, and then Justin Brooks Designs for making it look pretty, and yeah, just high voltage sim shots. Other than that, it's just hats off to everyone else. Thank you.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Tristan, on your win here in week number 1, and we wish you luck throughout the rest of the season. Hopefully we can talk to you a couple more times.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks. Now we will talk to, real quick, I know he's been waiting in the broadcast waiting booth. I'll give him an interview real quick. Our hard charger here tonight, Matt Vade, started in the 18th spot, came up into the 5th spot. See if we can't get him up into the booth. Matt Vade up in the booth. You got a copy. Matt, you got a copy? All right, well, we tried to get a word from our hard charger, Matt Vade. Don't think he had a copy on me, though, unfortunately. But we will go through our finishing results here from our feature here this evening. Go back to the very beginning, all the way to the front. Tristan Swanson picks up the victory here tonight. Brandon Elvis 2nd, Justin Coleman 3rd. Brian Tedeschi comes home 4th, Matt Vade 5th. Anthony Dantos 6th, Preston Boers 7th, Brett McCoy 8th, Ryan Honeycutt 9th, Kelsey Rogers 10th, Eric White 11th, Eddie Dabrowski 12th, Ryan Conover 13th, Danny Mann 14th, Ty Fredrickson 15th, Jackson Lewis 16th, Corey Rogers 17th, Derek Kraus 18th, Riley Stenjum 19th, Joe Schaefer 20th. Go back behind them. Carter Stark 21st, Carter Hollingsworth 22nd, Alex Papini 23rd, and rounding out our starting field was Deegan Smith in the number 22 machine. That's going to do it for us here tonight on the WD Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys for tuning in for this 175 lap feature for the Winter Challenge Series. Now, I also appreciate everybody kind of sticking through a little bit of a rough beginning to the broadcast. We had a long update there for timing and scoring. I think everything ended up working out all right, though. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you guys next time. See you guys right here tomorrow night for the Leave the Pack Super Series. So, I'm your host, Winston Deal, signing it off. Good night, everybody. Peace out. Y'all have a good one.